What would you do if standing for what is right meant being thrown into a den of hungry lions? This is not just a story of bravery. It is a story of faith, jealousy, and a miracle that still inspires hearts today.
Whispers of betrayal, a plotting.
This is the story of the conspiracy against Daniel.
Of betrayal.
Once upon a time, when the mighty king Nebuchadnezzar of Babylon conquered Jerusalem, he carried away the brightest young men to serve in his palace. Among the captives taken from Jerusalem was a young man named Daniel. Though far from home, he carried wisdom like a lantern in the dark. Kings came and went, but Daniel's honesty never wavered. Daniel was wise, faithful, and gifted with understanding. Though he lived in a strange land, far from home, he never forgot his God. Over time, Daniel rose to great honor under the kings of Babylon. Even when rulers changed, from Nebuchadnezzar to Belshazzar, and then to King Darius, Daniel remained trusted and favored. Soon, King Darius himself trusted him above all others and planned to place him over the entire kingdom. The other rulers whispered among themselves, "If Daniel rules, who will bow to us? We must destroy him." They searched Daniel's work for corruption, but found none. Finally, they realized the only way to trap him was through his faith. They went to the king with a sly plan. "O king, let everyone pray only to you for 30 days. Anyone who prays to another god shall be thrown into the den of lions." Flattered, King Darius signed the law, not realizing it was a snare for his faithful servant. The king, proud yet unaware, sealed the decree.
By the way, dear friends, we pour a lot of time and effort into making these stories for you. A simple like and subscribe means so much and helps us continue bringing them to life. Thank you.
Daniel heard of the law. Still, 3 times a day, he opened his window toward Jerusalem and prayed, just as he always had. His faith was his compass, and no threat could turn it. But the jealous men were waiting. They rushed to Daniel's house. There he was, on his knees, praying to God just as he always had. With wicked delight, they ran to the king. "O king, Daniel disobeyed your law. He prayed to his God." The king was heartbroken. He loved Daniel. All day he searched for a way to save Daniel, but the law of the Medes and Persians could not be changed. Reluctantly, he ordered Daniel thrown into the lion's den. That evening, Daniel was lowered into the dark pit. Hungry lions paced, their golden eyes glinting. King Darius whispered, "May your God, whom you serve continually, deliver you." A heavy stone was rolled across the mouth of the den. The king sealed it with his royal mark. That night, King Darius did not eat, did not sleep, and paced the palace in worry. But inside the den, something wondrous happened. As lions circled, ready to pounce, a shining angel appeared. The angel shut the lions' mouths. Their growls faded, and the night passed in peace. At dawn, King Darius ran to the lion's den and cried out with trembling voice, "Daniel, servant of the living God, has your God, whom you serve continually, been able to rescue you from the lions?" And from the darkness came Daniel's voice, strong and steady. "O king, live forever. My God sent his angel, and he shut the lions' mouths. I am safe, for I have done no wrong." The king rejoiced and ordered Daniel lifted from the pit. Not a scratch was found on him, for he had trusted in his God. But the men who had schemed against Daniel were not so lucky. By the king's command, they and their families were thrown into the same den. The lions, now hungry and fierce, devoured them before they even reached the ground. King Darius then sent a message to all nations, declaring, "Let everyone in my kingdom fear and reverence the God of Daniel. For Daniel's God is the living God, whose kingdom will never end. He rescues and saves, performing wonders in heaven and on earth." And Daniel prospered under the reign of Darius and beyond. And so it was that envy was swallowed by justice, lions silenced by faith, and one man's courage lit a flame for generations. For the tale of Daniel reminds us, even in the darkest den, the light of faith shines brighter than fear. And so, Daniel's story reminds us all, whether young or old, that faith can stand strong even in the face of danger, that God can shut the mouths of lions, silence the schemes of the wicked, and lift up those who trust in Him. And that, dear friends, is the tale of Daniel in the lion's den, a story of courage, faith, and a God who never abandons His people.
Fell on the edge of the land. Whispers of betrayal applauded him. Daniel stood with faith like fire while the court conspired. Their wrath grew high. Shut a cold hard tomb. The night was heavy, a silent gloom, but in that